Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about our hip flexors. It's this right here. And so many of us are sitting for long periods of time during the day, right? We're sitting at our computers, often slouched like this, sitting at our computers, using our phones, driving the car. And so these hip flexors, when you're sitting for long periods of time, can get very, very tight. When your hip flexors get tight, you're much more prone to injury. Let's say if you are exercising, running, jumping, doing any kind of exercise, you're more prone to injury, and you're prone to hip pain, low back pain quite often. So we want to make sure that our hip flexors are nice and flexible, right? And so a quick little test that you can do, get a chair or even a table, something high that you can put your knee up on. And so I'm going to try to turn this way so you can see a little better. So I have my knee here. So the test is you're going to try to get your shoulder to your knee. So it looks like this. So if you can see, let me turn this way so you can see also, my shoulder is in line with my knee. So that means that your hip flexors are pretty flexible. The next step would be to get your shoulder below your knee. So I can go, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 inches below. My shoulder is below my knee. I'm feeling that nice stretch in my hip flexor. So I'm below my knee. The next step beyond that is to try to get your head below as well. So my head and my shoulder are below my knee there. Hopefully you guys can see that on the camera. And you do that on each side because sometimes one side is less flexible or more stiff than the other. So that's a good little test to see how flexible or how tight your hip flexors are. Now if you have super tight hip flexors, it's a good idea to do some stretches. So one stretch that you can do is a butterfly stretch. So you want to pull your heels in, try to push your knees to the ground. You can open your feet up like a book, sit up nice and tall, and you should feel some stretching there in your hip flexors. Okay? Another thing that you can do, this is a nice stretch even after a nice workout, is to bend your knees, take one leg, put it over the other, crisscross, kind of like you're sitting in a chair. Pull that bottom leg up and pull forward. You should feel that not only in your hip flexors, but all around. And you can switch sides and hold this for, I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds each side. You can also do some twists. So let's say I have my legs down, I'm going to bring my right leg over my left, arms out to the side, and you could do a twist this way, letting that leg flail open. You can look to that side, and you can twist to the other side. This should feel good also, but when you're going to that same side, your hip flexor is opening up. You should feel a nice opening and stretch there. The other thing that you can do, and this helps with, this is what I did when I was learning to do my splits at age 50, which I haven't done in a little while. But in order to do that, and this works on hip flexors too. So I have my left knee up, my right knee back, and I'm leaning forward. You can see how that's a nice stretch right there. And so as you do it more often, you can get lower and lower. Feel that stretch a little bit more. You can push that back leg back a little bit more and really feel it. Right? So that is a nice stretch for that hip flexor. And then you can switch to the other side. Again, getting low. You can even push that back leg back to get an even firmer stretch there. But again, those are ways to open up your hip flexors. But do that little test. Let me know how you do. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you can put them below and I'll try to answer them for you. But it's a nifty little way to see how tight your hip flexors are, and I guarantee you they're tighter than you think. So we constantly have to be working on that.